what it is. It could just be some people gathering around the fire on a cold winter night playing cards or pinochle or canasta or playing chess or whatever, and they're blown to smithereens. And this is, considered, this is part of what the war on terrorism is about. But then a rescue team comes to help those people that have been attacked, and that's the second strike. I think, Medea Benjamin and Jody Evans and the incredible women at Code Pink have done remarkable work in exposing the criminality and immorality of these ongoing drone campaigns. And much, of course, is enabled by a media which keeps the American people essentially in a state of being comatose. There's a T-shirt here that says, don't trust the corporate media. Well, that's not exactly true. You can't trust the corporate media to be absolutely deceptive and mendacious, to absolutely lie, distort, omit, and serve corporate as well as state interests. That's their societal function. And when I started doing this work in the late 70s, early 80s, Ben Bagdikian had written a book at that time called The Media Monopoly. And he discovered a very ominous trend that was going on in the media. He said that there's a more and more concentration. And at the time, there were 50 corporations that controlled most of the media in the United States. And Bagdikian wrote successive additions to the media monopoly, and that, as it went down, 50 over the years became 28, 28 became 23, 23, 14, 14, 10, 10, 6, and today 5 corporations basically control what most people see, hear, and read. Now there's some great news that's developed, and some more positive news. The founder of eBay, Pierre Omidyar, who's a French-born Iranian-American, has agreed to front a new independent media organization where Glenn Greenwald and Jeremy Scahill and Laura Poitras and other independent journalists will be allowed to conduct independent journalism, investigative reporting. This is a very important development that should be encouraged as much as possible. Maybe they'll even do some radio programs which you can then air on KYAQ. Because also in this particular administration, there's been a war on whistleblowers. People who are telling the truth about what's going on in different government agencies, acts of criminality, fraud, deceit, and violations of all kinds of U.S. laws. Now, this administration has prosecuted more people under the Espionage Act than all previous administrations combined. The Espionage Act was passed in another time of great anti-Red hysteria around 1920. It was called the Red Scare. And that was also under a liberal Democratic president, Woodrow Wilson. So you see the continuities and the patterns here. I'm singling out Obama. Gee, that's unfair. Well, Bush was kind of an anomaly in that he was so extreme and so kind of over the top that he was an easy target. Everyone could feel very righteous and virtuous in denouncing George Bush. But Obama seems to have been given a lot of slack, particularly by those who voted for him and we might call themselves liberals. But as Orwell points out in the unpublished introduction to his great work, Animal Farm, the initial introduction was censored by the British publishers. At any given time, there's a certain orthodoxy that cannot be challenged. And we see that in this time, as well as in times past. That orthodoxy